Imagine you're watching the dawn light spill over a quiet coastal road, the asphalt still gleaming with the last hints of night. A silhouette slides into the frame. A neoteric Roadster, the 2026 BMW Z1. Not official press material. Not a rumor dump, but a thoughtful, cinematic exploration of what could be. An imaginative look at a car that fuses BMW's storied past with a bold electric future. If you're here for a triple espresso of talent, tech, and torque, you're in the right lane. This is a speculative, not a fact yet concept, crafted to spark conversation, to push the imagination just a bit beyond the limits of today's headlines. So, buckle up as we dive into a car that dares to be both heir to a legend and a doorway to what driving could feel like in 2026. From the very first glance, the 2026 Z1 asserts itself with a shape that is unmistakably BMW. The long, clean bonnet, a compact cabin pushed toward the rear, and shoulders that hint at power hiding in the chassis. The silhouette is low, but not aggressively aggressive. A roadster built for rhythm, for wind in the hair, and for the kind of moments that make a Sunday feel like a well-kept secret. The wheels sit wide, the stance is purposeful, and the surface treatment speaks of modern luxury without shouting. There's a precision to the lines, the kind you feel more in your gut than in your eyes. A sign that this might be a car designed to be driven rather than merely admired. Materials are promised to be light, durable, and tactile. A mix of carbon fiber composites in the body structure, aluminum in the suspension arms, and sumptuous hides are sustainable alternatives in the interior, all tuned to keep mass as low as humanly practical while preserving rigidity and safety. Design DNA is clear, yet the Z1 reimagines it. The brand's classic cues, subtle Hofmeister kink, a clean shoulder line, a grille that nods to BMW's historic kidney motif, are reinterpreted with a modern, electric emphasis. The headlamps are razor-thin and adaptive, capable of forming a front light signature that's as emblematic as it is functional. The rear is a symphony of LEDs, a continuous light strip that makes the car instantly recognizable even from a distance in a way that feels contemporary but not chaotic. The paint finish is more than color. It's a statement of intention, with finishes that shift subtly in different lighting, offering both a luxury car sheen and a touch of race-bred aggression when the sun is right and the road is long. Let's talk doors, a nod to the Z1's legendary moment in motoring history. The 2026 Z1 doesn't simply open, it animates an experience. The doors interpret that old BMW idea in a modern, high-tech fashion. They tuck and slide into the body at the touch of a button, transitioning from a closed, sculpted surface to a wide, cabin greeting aperture with a whisper-quiet mechanism. The result is a sense of ceremony. Open, glide, invite, without the harshness of a mechanical snag or a clatter that breaks the dream on a rainy day. When closed, the door shells contribute to a seamless side profile, with sculpted aero channels and micro-checks in the panel that reduce drag while giving the chassis a sense of purpose at every speed. Under the skin, you'll find a philosophy that prioritizes electricity and agility over large, thundering engines. The 2026 Z1 is powered by a dual-motor all-wheel drive system that's tuned for balance as much as blistering pace. The front and rear motors deliver a combined system output in the region of 650 to 700 horsepower, with torque that presses you back into the carbon seat and keeps you honest on a curvy road. The car is built around a high-strength, lightweight battery system, roughly a 100-plus kilowatt-hour pack, optimized for low center of gravity. Tight packaging, and fast, repeated charging. BMW's 800-volt architecture makes DC charging a practical affair. On a modern 250 kilowatts charger, you could move from roughly 10 to 80% in a half hour, if not faster in ideal conditions. On the road, those numbers translate to a car that can ride the line between a precise GT and a razor-edged supercar. Brutal when you ask for it, serene when you don't. If you're chasing numbers for the mind, here are the right kinds for a 2026 concept that wants to feel alive. Acceleration from 0 to 60 miles per hour, 0 to 97 kilometers per hour, in about 2.8 seconds or faster on a track-ready configuration. Top speed electronically governed to protect tires and tires. Grip at the limit, but visible on a good day as a number in the high 180s to around 200 miles per hour. Range in the neighborhood of 300 to 350 miles on a mixed cycle, a figure that leaves room for weekend canyon runs but keeps the car's life in an urban, usable zone. These are not official specs from a press release because this is a concept video, but they are intentionally credible, enough to make the dream credible, enough to feel like a real product could live here, given the right engineering and market conditions. The chassis is a carefully curated orchestra of rigidity and compliance. An adaptive suspension system, perhaps magnetorheological dampers or a tuned air spring arrangement, communicates with a dynamic drive control stack to tailor the ride to your vibe. At the press of a button, the car can lower its ride height for improved aero on the highway or raise for rough pavement on a coastal run. Active anti-roll tuning and intelligent torque vectoring make the Z1 feel predictably incisive in corners. Never twitchy, always aware of where the driver wants to go and how hard. The steering, precisely weighted, electronically assisted, delivers feedback that borders on tactile, a direct, you-are-there sensation that makes even a routine bend feel like a moment of ceremony. It's a car designed to encourage a driver to push a little deeper into the curve, to trust the chassis a little more, to feel the interplay between power, grip, and momentum. Inside, BM's interior design language embraces the future without abandoning the human. The cabin centers around a driver-focused cockpit, with a curved, wraparound dashboard that places essential information in a glassy arc ahead of you. A wide, high-resolution digital instrument cluster blends into a central touchscreen and a head-up display that projects critical data onto the windscreen in a way that's legible at a glance even in bright sun. The materials mix is exquisite but forward-thinking. Refined leathers are sustainable textile alternatives, lightly brushed metals, and accents that catch the light with a quiet glow. The seats are high performance but comfortable, offering support on longer drives while remaining welcoming for a truly spirited back road session. The layout puts the essentials near at hand: climate, drive mode selection, and a tactile gear selector that feels both modern and purposeful. The rest of the cabin is a calm, almost sanctuary-like place, designed to reduce fatigue after a day on the road while still engaging your senses with the car's character. Technology in the Z1 is as much about intelligence as speed. The BMW iOS-like system, let's call it BMW OS 14 for the sake of this concept, offers a personalized, hands-free experience that learns your preferences and adapts to your habits. The interface is clean, with crisp typography and a responsive, fluid feel. Expect a robust suite of driver assistance features that can scale from level 2 to level something more capable as the car's autonomy stack evolves. The idea is not to replace the driver but to extend the driver's possibilities: predictive navigation that factors in traffic, road work, and weather, an AI driving coach that analyzes your cornering technique and offers gentle advice, and a holographic or augmented reality display that can project cues onto the road. For instance, a highlighted line on a blind bend to guide your path when you're pushing the car to the limit on a track or a canyon. Connectivity is complete, with wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto integration, a constant online connection for OTA updates, and a digital ecosystem that talks to your home, your phone, and your smartwatch. In-car audio is an audiophile-grade affair. Premium speakers placed to optimize sound across the cabin, with a focus on clarity and a sense of space. The acoustic experience is not simply about high volumes. It's about conveying the car's quiet moments too. The way the wind hushes as you settle into the groove of a long straight, the music becoming a thread that ties the drive together. What about the human element? Safety, driver engagement, and everyday practicality. The Z1 concept keeps a foot in realism with safety that feels quietly confident rather than loudly boastful. A suite of active safety assists, collision avoidance, pedestrian detection, and intelligent braking systems work hand in glove with the car's dynamic stability systems to help you stay out of trouble without strangling the driving experience. On the racetrack or a twisty mountain road, the car uses data from sensors around the vehicle, and perhaps a connected network of nearby vehicles, to predict changes in grip, adjust power delivery, and optimize stability control so you can focus on rhythm rather than the arithmetic of traction. The brakes are responsive and strong, with a pedal feel that communicates precisely how much bite you're getting as you scrub speed into a corner. One of the most compelling aspects of this imagined vehicle is its relationship to sustainability without sacrificing performance. The Z1's propulsion system is designed to maximize efficiency, with regenerative braking recuperating energy wherever possible and a thermal management strategy that keeps the battery and electronics at optimum temperatures. The materials selection leans toward a balance of performance and responsibility, with recyclable or responsibly sourced materials where feasible. And if you're the kind of buyer who wants to go beyond performance into a more personal statement, BMW would offer a range of heritage-inspired palettes and carbon fiber cosmetic packages that allow you to express a modern interpretation of that classic BMW Roadster aesthetic. As for market positioning, imagine a limited production run intended for enthusiasts who crave a modern expression of a legendary name. Think numbers on the order of a few thousand units worldwide, each built with a degree of customization that makes every Z1 a unique conversation piece. The price would sit in the high six-figure to seven-figure territory, a figure that reflects not only performance but the bespoke nature of the product, the battery technology, the limited production, and the brand's promise of a driver-centric experience that transcends the ordinary. This isn't a mass-market car. It's a halo device, a rolling manifesto for what high-performance road mobility could look like when engineers push the envelope and designers chase emotion as eagerly as efficiency. And what about competition? In this imagined space for 2026, the Z1 would be measured against other high-performance EV roadsters and halo cars, names that signal inevitability in a world shifting toward electrification. It would share the track with exotic, high-speed convertibles and premium EVs from luxury brands that understand that the future of driving is not just about raw numbers, but about how those numbers translate to a feeling, a moment of connection between car and driver. It's not about beating a specific rival in a straight line. It's about carving a space where a car's character matters as much as its lap times. The Z1's personality is calm, precise, and hungry for the curve. Its appeal is the balance between comfort and chaos, between the intimacy of a two-seat cockpit and the freedom of a wind-in-your-face roadster. If you're a viewer who loves to imagine the road ahead, the 2026 BMW Z1 offers a lot to contemplate. It connects tradition to tomorrow, suggesting that a name can carry a legacy while still embracing the future's demands. It conjures a driving experience that's as much about the feel of the wind and the sound of the tires as it is about the data readouts and the software that tailor your ride. It asks you to consider what a modern roadster should be. Not just a speed machine, but a personal statement that can adapt to different moods and different journeys. It's a car that invites you to dream a little bigger, while giving you a feasible, pleasurable path to live that dream. Before we wrap, let's ground this in a few practical takeaways. A 2026 Z1, as a concept, embodies a few core principles: lightness through advanced materials, power through a dual-motor electric setup with serious torque, and a driving experience anchored in driver control and feedback. It uses cutting-edge battery technology to deliver range and performance in a way that makes sense for both road and track. It offers a cabin that respects the driver's needs and a cockpit that integrates technology in a way that's helpful, not distracting. It respects the heritage of BMW's sports cars while offering something new and relevant for a generation that demands instant access to information and near-instant access to performance. If you're watching this and thinking about your own dream car, take this as a thought experiment you can carry into your own conversations with friends, with your local dealer, or with your own imagination. The 2026 BMW Z1, as depicted here, is a story, a well-crafted one, that invites you to imagine what it means to drive a car that honors history while sprinting toward the horizon. It is not a promise, not a forecast, but a compelling possibility that sparks curiosity and conversation, long after the video ends. And with that, I invite you to share your thoughts in the comments. What should a modern Z1 be? Should it lean into raw performance, or should it emphasize sustainable, daily usability? How far do you want to push the envelope of design and technology in a car that weighs the past against the future? If you enjoyed this speculative look at the 2026 BMW Z1, consider liking, subscribing, and hitting the bell so you don't miss future explorations of cars that might be, someday soon, in your garage. If you'd like to see a deeper dive into any particular aspect, battery tech, chassis architecture, interior user experience, or a hypothetical track test, tell me in the comments and I'll tailor a follow-up that digs into that topic with as much detail as you want. Thanks for riding along the imaginary road with me today. Until next time, keep your eyes on the horizon and your seatbelt snug, because the future of driving is a journey you don't want to miss.